You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. At just 15 years old, Coco Gauff did something on a Grand Slam stage that didn't just capture the world's attention. It stopped Roger Federer in the middle of his dinner. What happened next left one of the greatest players in tennis history genuinely impressed, and honestly, a little stunned. In today's feature, we dive deep into the extraordinary moment that made Roger Federer, yes, the 20-time Grand Slam champion and global tennis icon, pause everything just to watch a teenage Coco Gauff. This wasn't about her forehands. Not about her movement. Not even about her victory. It was something far more meaningful. Something Federer himself called a nice moment, showing both personalities. And it all happened at a time when Coco Gauff was barely old enough to drive. Let's take you back to where it all began. Wimbledon 2019. The tennis world was not prepared for what was coming when 15-year-old Coco Gauff stepped onto the grass courts of Wimbledon in 2019. Gauff became the youngest player ever to qualify for the main draw in the Open era. But she didn't just make history, she immediately took out a legend. She beat Venus Williams. At 15. It was the kind of match that flips a switch in a young athlete's career. The kind of match that makes analysts scramble, fans scream, and cameras turn. Gauff didn't simply win. She showed confidence, composure, and an unexpected calm, the kind of qualities you'd normally see in players twice her age. And the world noticed. After an incredible Wimbledon run, Gauff went to the US Open later that year. Again, she delivered. Again, she reached the later rounds. And again, she met a superstar, Naomi Osaka, then one of the most dominant players in the world. Osaka beat Gauff. But what happened afterward was the real story, the interview that shocked the world. Instead of the standard post-match routine, Osaka walked over to Gauff with compassion and respect. She invited her, gently but firmly, to join her in the on-court interview. It was emotional. It was raw. And it was real. Gauff, overwhelmed and teary, hesitated. But she accepted. And that moment, two young stars, united by grace, dignity, and sportsmanship, sent chills across the sports world. Also caught the attention of someone who knew a thing or two about class, Roger Federer. After his own fourth-round win over David Goffin at the US Open, Federer was asked if he watched Gauff versus Osaka. His answer was priceless. He admitted, "I was having dinner. I explained on the court that I was just watching it from afar in the second set." Then came the part that makes this story unforgettable. Federer said he noticed Osaka and Gauff talking on court. He realized something unusual was happening, so he grabbed the TV remote to hear the interview. And here's where it gets truly human. "I couldn't get the volume to work because the remote had no more battery. I'm trying to figure it out. Watching an interview with no words is kind of hard for me." Imagine Roger Federer, elegant, composed Roger Federer, shaking a TV remote, trying desperately to hear what two teenage stars were saying. It's a moment that fans still laugh about today. He finally got the volume working at the end, and what he saw and heard moved him deeply. What impressed Federer most about 15-year-old Coco? Federer said, "I saw highlights and all that. I just thought, yeah, it was a nice moment. It showed both personalities from both players." What impressed him wasn't Coco's forehand. It wasn't her speed. It wasn't her technique. It was her maturity. Her composure. Her ability to handle a crushing loss on one of the world's biggest stages with honesty and grace. At just 15, Federer knows better than anyone how hard it is to be young, gifted, and under pressure. He saw something rare and special in Coco. The kind of emotional intelligence and authenticity that can't be taught. And he was right. That moment wasn't just about Gauff's talent, it was about her character. Why this moment still matters. Looking back now in 2025, with Coco Gauff a Grand Slam champion, a global icon, and a leader in the new generation of tennis, this moment feels even more significant. At 15, she showed humility in defeat, grace in pressure, maturity in the spotlight, respect for rivals, raw emotional honesty. These qualities shaped her into the athlete and person she is today. And perhaps the most beautiful part, even someone like Roger Federer, a player known for poise and perfection, could see something truly powerful in that young teenager's heart. Coco Gauff's rise wasn't just about winning. It was about how she carried herself, how she spoke, how she connected with fans, how she handled loss with dignity, and how she stayed authentic even under global pressure. That is why Federer admired her. And that is why millions around the world still do. When Coco Gauff joined Naomi Osaka for that emotional post-match interview, tears in her eyes, voice trembling, heart wide open, she didn't just impress spectators. She impressed Roger Federer, a man who has seen every corner of the tennis world. And if there's one thing we've learned from Coco's journey, it's this: greatness is not just built on victories. Sometimes, it's defined by how you face defeat. Just 15, Coco Gauff showed the world who she really was. And Roger Federer understood immediately: a star had been born. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.